We got some great athletes, Olympians, up-and-coming stars, all here at Premier Rugby Sevens. These two taking the field. It's the experts in blue and the Loggerheads in the green jerseys.
Similar to the last game, the experts, this is their first game of the day. The Loggerheads coming off a win earlier. So that'll be an interesting dynamic and see which team that benefits.
What's your preference as a player? Do you want to be fresh or do you want to have had that game under your belt?
I think you always feel a little better coming off a game once you've worked your way into the tournament, getting the feel for the ball. But at the same time, I don't know if I'd like to play a team that is fresh when I've already played one, because sometimes you're feeling some hits already from the first game, your legs might be a little tired, so that's a dynamic to watch.
Well, I don't know if I want to play a team with Martin Yosefo and Kevon Williams in it with all the supporting cast. They did win their first match, 19 points to 12 over the locals. And this team, the experts, looking for their first match, as we said. Lots of power and pace in the backfield. Logan Tago, Philly Katonga.
Yeah, and Perry Baker, the one to really watch on the experts, two-time World Player of the Year. And when he's on his game, there's no one quite like Perry. Naima Folau is a really good halfback, and he's a young player who's been with the Sevens team in Chula Vista for a number of years now. It's been fantastic to watch his development. Came in as a really thoughtful, and there's Perry Baker, real talented, fast footwork, and great leadership. And so him and Naima will be an interesting dynamic to watch.
Well, if anyone can have creases in his rugby shorts, it's that man. He can work magic on a rugby field. Off we go. It is Perry Baker's team, the experts, kicking off high and long. Really well gathered by the Loggerheads. I think one of the things that was talked about in the week, there's all these stars, but who's going to be able to get the ball to these players in space? Quickly through the hands. Noah Bain pushes it wide. Bain in the scrum half roll, but counter-rucking from the Loggerheads has produced results. Brendan Curl still on his feet, deciding when he wants to go down. Finally, he goes down. Immediate support from Devon Short. This is a good start, very positive start from the Loggerheads, although to be penalized the breakdown for a second movement. Yeah,
Perry Baker made the tackle. The player was brought to ground. He might have felt he wasn't held. It looked to me like he was held, so that was a good decision by the referee and a good turnover from the experts.
Over the top from Noah Bain. They're still on the charge. Philly Katonga just doing what he does best. Off to Logan Tago. Ball spilled. It's picked up quickly. Philly Katonga, first try for the experts.
Good play there from the experts. They got the turnover, quickly moved it wide, and I think because they moved it so quickly, the Loggerheads didn't have a chance to adjust in defense. One simple offload. You thought for a second this offload, the next offload here, might have been dropped forward. Try line was beckoning, but deemed to have gone backwards, picked up there, and Katonga's in.
We saw the communication, players talking to each other, these players coming together from all parts this week.
And as you said, Gareth, so crucial to have that communication. These players haven't played together much. They don't have that instinctive sense for what they're about to do. So having that communication, saying, I'm going to do this, I want you to do this, that makes it so much easier to operate effectively as a group.
And the conversion is good, for the experts. So that man is on the board, as are his team. It will be Folau. He hangs that one high. It doesn't go 10 because it's played by the defending team. It's going to be a play-on situation. Loggerheads regrouping in their own end. Oh, beautiful one-hander. Devon Short powers as he got the pace. Baker slows down. Then Baker comes in to try and steal the ball, but illegally, says the ref. 5 meters out. Loggerheads looking to go. Tap and go over the line. Great awareness there. An immediate response from the Loggerheads.
Hey, Perry, you get hands straight to ball.
Fantastic play there. Martin Yosefo started off, stepped the first man as the second defender came in. He just fed an offload, and he's so good at getting his hands free, finding those offloading channels, and that he sucked in Perry Baker, and I think that's what allowed the Loggerheads to make that initial break. Perry Baker got drawn in, and then the penalty here, Perry just missing the ball. Devon Short on the ground managed to present the ball in such a manner, Perry wasn't able to get his hands on it. Ball went to ground, and then the Loggerheads able to power their way over.
Oh, Brendan Curl giving us a signal. He showed real confidence from 5 meters out. So that conversion's also good. So 7-all here. Frantic action in the first half. here at Premier Rugby Sevens. Well, other than occasionally in Vegas and in LA these days, you don't get to see that man on home soil, Perry Baker, but now, as it hits his leg, it's a treat for American fans. That's the benefit of Premier Rugby Sevens, to see the homegrown stars here.
Absolutely. I mean, as an international sevens player, you get maybe one chance a year to play in front of your home family and friends and fans. So it's a great opportunity here, and hopefully they can continue to build this event, offer successful tournaments this weekend.
Good footwork from Folau. He goes wide in the channel, still pumping the legs. Big Logan Tago. These guys are fired up. The experts get their second.
Yeah, Logan Tago displaying the power. Naya Tapper with a fantastic pass over the top. Saw where the space was, and then the pass to find it, and then Tago did the rest. Bumping off one tackler, shrugging off a second, and then diving in for the try. And fantastic power. And I mean, this is what we want to see. We want to see players we haven't seen too much of pairing with those international stars and showing that they're ready to progress through to the next stage.
I know this experts team is a couple of young lads, young Noah Bain, Canadian, just being in the team room with the Perry Bakers of this world, just a great experience. And that man's put his hand up as well, Logan Tago, the American Samoan, playing his rugby in the MLR for the Utah Warriors this year. 24-year-old is making a big statement here. He's kissing the biceps.
Looks like he's been in the gym a few times.
So, back to the restart. Again, bobbled. There's a tackle above the net line on Corey Jones. Any contact above the shoulder line not tolerated anymore in rugby. Bain steps out, pops it deep. Look full of running, this experts team. It's the first time we've seen them. The Loggerheads already getting through their first game with a victory over the locals.
Let it go, let it go.
Here are referees, part of the action out there.
One, get out.
Good communication from him. Nothing on there for the experts. Good defense from the Loggerheads. Noah Bain in at scrum half again, having trouble getting that away. Finally pops it up to Perry Baker. Pushes it wide. Nice flat ball from Folau. The ball in one hand, the ball in the corner. It is try time.
I got you,
For Folau.
Naya Tapper finishing it off. He looked up. I think he saw Kevon Williams near him and questioned whether he had the pace, but just able to pull through. He just had enough to find the corner. He knew exactly where he was going and dotted down just before he stepped out.
It was close though, wasn't it?
It was close, and the referee paused for a second and talked to his judge, who, in the perfect position, must have deemed it. And yeah, Naya did exactly as much work as he needed to, but no more there. So a fantastic pass, and Perry Baker showing a different dimension to his game, dragging across the field, finding a gap, and then that pass behind the defense. So a little playmaking role there from Perry Baker.
Yeah, I think it's a great point you made. As you said, he's World Player of the Year twice. But his skill set, the way, he's not just a pace man, he learned all the other skills needed to be a world-class rugby player, and it's obviously benefited your team, the Eagles, and it's just great to see him out here.
I've seen Perry's development from when we played against each other off the circuit to when he was performing on the world stage, and he's put in so much work off and on the field to develop all aspects of his game.
So the clock says 0, but the ball's in play, so we'll finish out this half, barring a penalty. The experts up by 10. The Loggerheads in the dark green jerseys looking to come out of their own end, and they do at pace. Kevon Williams has had enough. He said, give me that ball. He's gone 80 meters, and he's under the post to get his team right back into this one. Kevon Williams, second try for Loggerheads.
And the experts looking like a team that are going to score a lot of tries but might concede a few as well. Kevon, he chose not to chase Naya Tapper on the last try, but showing that he has the energy now to go 85 odd meters and score under the post. And I mean, Kevon's, he's an incredible athlete, and he came in as a guy who could be that athletic presence, but he's developed his playmaking aspect, and that's been what I've loved to see from Kevon over the years.
Yeah, he was epic recently on the World Series, leading the American Eagles. Right now he's got his team back into this one. 17 points to 14, experts over the Loggerheads. Perry shouting out the instructions, you know, so much experience there, and just passing on what he wants for the second half.
Yeah, players like Perry who've been on the world stage, played against the best teams in the world, know what they want. It's so invaluable for them to provide that experience, help the guys with less experience, help the younger guys, help them see what they're seeing. And passing on that experience is a big part of what this tournament is about, sharing that knowledge from the top level right throughout American rugby.
It's Kean Barry, the UCLA Bruin, to get us underway. Well, it spilled loose, and Devin Short, who's had a solid game so far, gets his hands on that. So Loggerheads looking to respond.
Use it now.
You heard the referee saying, let's use it. Let's get it out from that rock. His toes are dancing with the sideline there, but he does well to keep him in 50-50 ball. Two expert defenders on him, but he's done well.
Not yet, not yet.
Cycling around is Patrick Madden. It'll be a knock-on.
That's unfortunate. Loggerheads exerting a lot of pressure right from that kickoff. That's exactly how they would have wanted to start the second half, and they've made a couple substitutions, so exerting that pressure and then just a little mistake. The experts' defense standing very strong there, which is the first time I've really seen a good defensive stand from them in this game. So really good start for both teams to the second half.
Demonte Noble on the field.
Right here on me.
And often you hear about it, turning defense into attack in the Sevens game.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the best times to attack can be on that turnover. The defense is fragmented. There's not a great presence in front of you. So immediately launching a fast attack is a big part of Sevens.
Experts starting deep in their own end. Oh, really well worked. The one-hand offload. Who's got the pace to finish it? Back infield comes Hightower. He's still going. He's pumping the legs. He spilled it. Did it go backwards? Yes, said the referee. Danny Thomas flips it out the back. They're going to have to regroup, the experts. But a 70-meter incursion from them. That pass is flat, potentially forward. No, says the ref. Still going, sideline to sideline, dancing out of the tackle. Logan Tago. Relentless pressure from the experts. Good team support.
The experts following each other one up very well. They found the man in space on the early one. Kevon Williams doing a really good job of tracking him down. Lots of good loggerhead cover defense. But the experts just moving the ball through their hands, finding the other wing, and when you're stretched like that all the way to one side and you move it quickly to the other, there will often be opportunities. And some of these Loggerheads defenders looking a little tired now, so they're playing the second match of the day, so they wonder if they've got some tired legs, how are they going to manage themselves over this second half to stay with these experts who have those long-range threats. They can score from anywhere.
Well, the conversion is not successful, so 8 points the gap still.
The experts have had some conversion issues in this match. They've scored a lot of tries, but Loggerheads, 2 tries, 2 conversions, and if you're continuing to get 7 points versus a team who's continuing to get 5, quickly that can make a big difference.
Well, Justin Hunley and David Fee there. Noah Bain just getting things organized. Obviously, substitutes play a factor in the Sevens game. This one's flat. Perry Baker can't stick it with the hands. That's a set-piece move.
I mean, that's Naya Tapper looking up, seeing Perry Baker, and the Loggerheads' defense was quite deep, so they'd left a lot of space right around the 10-meter line. So if you can put a low, flat kick to a fast player, that can often be a chance to get that kick on the run, and then it's going to be hard to bring him down. But I think the kick just drifted slightly longer than Folau wanted, and that meant that as Perry Baker was approaching the ball, the Loggerhead defender was approaching him, and I think hearing footsteps there, he wasn't quite as sure-handed as he normally is.
And that's the risk-reward we often hear about in Sevens. That's a high-risk maneuver that comes off at 7 points, but as it is, knock-on, so scrum, Loggerheads get a chance. It's a messy scrum again. Good push from the experts to disrupt there. Back in their own end. Yosefo doing what he does. Kean Barry knocked down momentarily. Again, good width from the Loggerheads, forcing the experts to defend from sideline to sideline. Demonte Noble, good first touch from him. Kean Barry swallowed up.
Tackle did not release him.
And the tackler did not release him.
Yeah, so Perry Baker right on the ball after the tackle. I think he felt he'd release, but if you're a part of the tackle, you have to show a clear release. You release the tackle player, release the ball. Perry Baker judged to have not done that, so that's a penalty for the Loggerheads.
Loggerheads pushing it flat. Patrick Madden has a dart up the middle. Floats to Devin Short.
Use it.
Kevon stepping back, what a move! The shimmy shake, did he have enough pace to finish? That's Tommy Clark. He's brought down 5 meters short, but the short side's available. Patrick Madden pounces on it, but a moment of brilliance from Kevon Williams.
Kevon Williams, I mean, few players I've ever seen have the ability to step someone in so little space. He's got such an explosive step. He gets the little double shimmy there, so not quite driving out of it as he can, but the dummy shimmy, the double shimmy finds the man in space. And the Loggerheads, a couple times in this game, they've turned the ball over inside the Experts 22. They do enough here to get the try. The conversion's good, and now we've got a 1-point game with a minute and a half left. And this is what Sevens rugby is all about.
Well, often you don't think about those conversions, but they can be the difference in a Sevens game. A minute and a half to go here.
I remember when I was young, I think it was Alex Maggerby sent me a statistic on when you go 21-0 up versus 19 or 17-0 up, the difference that can make in how often you win the game. And it was a 20 or 30% percentage difference.
That ball's gone backwards. So the Extras with their hands on it. The clock's winding down. They're up by a point. A no-look pass. Effective. There's options all around, and what a response from the Experts. Corey Jones. And it's a no-look pass that gets Corey Jones in space and gives what could be the last hope for the Loggerheads in this match.
A couple really nifty passes from the Experts there, putting people in space, and then Corey Jones, he's athletic, he's fast. You're not going to stop him when he's in that sort of space, and that's exactly the response the Experts will have wanted. And I think really showing they're going to be a fun team to watch today. They're going to score a lot of tries, but they're going to concede some tries too. They're going to say, we're going to have a fun day of sevens, but we're going to score more than you can.
Justin Hunley not got the Defensive Coach of the Year award right now, but it is great. Isn't that Sevens rugby? There's your 50 points in 14 minutes. How do you like that, Memphis? Premier Rugby Sevens is here, and that's what we're going to get.
You gotta kick it right now.
This will be the last kick of the game, barring a penalty. This is the way in Sevens rugby. When you score, you reintroduce the ball yourself, and they've gathered it well. This can go off the field, unless they're thinking about points difference for later on. No, Barry's had enough. Well, awesome athletes on display, Olympians, up-and-comers. It was really great to watch. The men in light blue jerseys, the Experts, have won this one. They manhandled the Loggerheads and won it 29 points to 21. We'll be back.